Hey there anime lovers, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we'll be exploring the 25 new upcoming anime of summer 2023. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the list. Level 1 Demon Lord and One Room Hero. It has been 10 years since the hero Max defeated the Demon Lord, but when the Demon Lord reawakens, her body is only a miniature version of its fearsome form. Curious to see what her enemy is up to, the Demon Lord visits Max. However, to her surprise, she finds a man who has lost all hope of moving forward. What happened to the man who saved the world? Ayaka, A Story of Bonds and Wounds. The story follows Yanagi, an orphan who one day encounters an eccentric disciple of his father's. The strange man takes him to his birthplace on Ayakajima, made up of 7 islands where mysterious beings called Mitama and dragons are rumored to reside. There, Yanagi meets his father's 2 other disciples, who protect the harmony of Ayakajima, which soon threatens to collapse. The Gene of AI. The story is set in the near future, when nearly 10% of the population are humanoids, human-like robotic artificial life. Humanoids are accepted as a matter of fact in society, yet they suffer from their own problems and sicknesses. The main character, Hikaru, is a doctor specializing on humanoids. The masterful cat is depressed again today. When Saku took in a stray black cat, she never expected that he would become the equivalent of a housekeeping life partner. But Yukichi, a giant cat who towers over Saku, is not your ordinary feline. He walks around on 2 legs. Instead of playing with toy mice, he scours supermarket flyers for good deals and keeps the house spotless. With a pet like that, it's hard to tell who's taking care of whom. Undead Girl Murder Farce. Taking place between the late 19th century and early 20th century in a world filled with supernatural and magical creatures, immortal beauty and disembodied head Aya, along with half-human half-demon, demon killer Tsugaru Shunichi and her loyal maid Shizuko, travels through Europe as Detective the Cage User, solving supernatural mysteries while Aya searches for her lost body. Temple. MC decides to become a monk to distance himself from his philandering family, but when a chance encounter with a young woman leaves him with thoughts that are all too impure, he decides to do what he must, become a Buddhist monk and renounce worldly ways. But the temple he decides to devote himself to is full of women, and that same young woman is there too. Dark Gathering. The story follows Keitaro, a college freshman haunted by his ability to attract spirits and the collateral damage it's caused in the past. As he reintroduces himself to society as a private tutor, he meets a genius girl named Yayoi, who can see spirits and is searching for the spirit that took away her mother. Am I actually the strongest? A shut-in is reborn into another world with the promise of a peaceful life, and amazingly, that baby is a prince. However, he's abandoned in a forest on the day he's born because of his low magic level. What will be the fate of this baby, who was inadvertently given 1,000 times the normal amount of magic by the goddess of reincarnation without anyone noticing? My unique skill makes me overpowered even at level 1. MC died from overworking at a black company, was reincarnated to another world. Although he was alive, he is now burdened with the inconvenience that his level is fixed to 1 in this new world. Although he wasn't able to raise his level, he had a unique skill that can create a cheat-like item that shouldn't exist in the world from a monster. He got to know about his status and maxed them with the help of ability-up items. He gathered a number of weapons and items that can only be used by himself, allowing him to be level 1 but yet having the strongest equipment. Sweet Reincarnation. A promising pastry chef met his demise, leaving the world without ever having achieved his dream of creating the world's greatest pastry. However, he is given another chance at life, reborn as the son of a poor lord. The boy's name is Pastry, and he is destined to become the next lord of the territory. Thus, the struggles of young Pastry's story begin as he endeavors to bring smiles to people's faces with his desserts and create a land abundant with happiness. This sweet fantasy takes the royal road to change the world, where the best sweets are accompanied by the best tales. Reborn as a vending machine, now I wander the dungeon. After dying in a traffic accident, MC finds himself standing near an unfamiliar lake. His body won't move, he can't hear his voice, and when he tries to shout in confusion, words that he never expected come out. Get one free with a winner. It seems he's turned into a vending machine. He can only do what actual vending machines can. It's impossible for him to move by himself, and there's no way for him to have any meaningful conversation. How is he going to survive some fantasy world's dungeon like this? The Great Cleric. One man's story of turning blood, sweat, and tears into a successful living, literally. After his untimely death as the hardest working salaryman in Japan, Lucille is reincarnated into the magical fantasy world Galdardia. Always the man with a plan, he recreates himself to be a healer and sets about making his way in the world. But while Lucille knows a thing or two about making money, he knows absolutely nothing about Galdardia. Will his good heart and great work ethic be enough to make him the Great Cleric? The most heretical last boss queen, from villainess to savior. Pride Royal Ivy is the final boss and all-around scum in the Autumn Game Ray of Light. A normal high school student in Japan reincarnates into the 8-year-old body of Princess Pride, and she decides to drop the maniacal villainous plan and protect the male love interests instead, cheating her way to saving everyone she can. Will this final boss end up earning the adoration of her kingdom? New Saga. The story follows adventurer Kyle, who finds himself transported 4 years into the past to the beginning of the demon invasion, right as he was about to finish off the Demon Lord. Armed with the memories and skills he gained in that time, he decides to use this opportunity to avoid making the same mistakes of the past and become stronger. Atelier Ryza, Ever Darkness and the Secret Hideout. Ryza, an ordinary girl, is tired of her boring village life, so she escapes the village to gather with her good friends in a secret location to talk of their dreams and plan thrilling adventures. One day, the determined Ryza and company decide to head for the Forbidden Island across the shore as their first exploration trip. Together with the alchemist and other friends they meet there, they have a summer adventure that they will never forget. Helk. 3 months have passed since the Demon Lord was struck down, and the Demon Realm is holding a tournament to select his replacement. The leading contestant is Helk, a human hero who claims to hate his own kind. Some aren't happy with the idea of a human becoming the next Demon Lord, especially Vermilio the Red. She wants nothing more than to protect demonkind and prove Helk to be their enemy, even if she has to rig the competition to do it. Hero Classroom. The story is set in Rosewood Academy, a school that trains future heroes destined to protect mankind. The school accepts only those with the most potential. Arnest Flaming, a girl who boasts the top record in the academy, is assigned to guide a mysterious but cheerful new student named Blade, who rivals her own power. Reign of the Seven Spellblades. Springtime at Kimberly Magic Academy when new students begin their first year. One boy, clad in black robes with a white cane and sword strapped to his hip, approaches the prestigious school. This young man, Oliver, must form a bond with a katana-wielding girl named Nanao if he's to survive the dangers he's to face at this school that is anything but what it seems. Liar Liar. At Academy Island, everything is settled through games waged for a certain number of stars, with the strongest student being granted the ranking of 7 stars. A transfer student unexpectedly beats the strongest empress and becomes the pseudo-strongest in the school. A mind game of lies and bluffs begins. The Dreaming Boy is a realist. Wataru is head over heels in love with his classmate, Natsukawa. Despite facing numerous obstacles, he remains determined to win her heart and often daydreams about their mutual love. However, one day Wataru wakes up with a realization, I might not be good enough for someone as amazing as Natsukawa. Realizing this, he decides to keep his distance from her, much to Natsukawa's surprise. Natsukawa wonders if Wataru now dislikes her. Story of a small senior in my company. Shinozaki is an office worker who is taken care of and coddled by his senior team member Shiori, who is a gorgeous, profoundly kind, loving, and diminutive woman. Shinozaki certainly hopes that she's not doing it out of duty, but her joy of doing so increasingly exposes her feelings. Saint Cecilia and Pastor Lawrence. Saint Cecilia is beloved by the townspeople. Not only is she elegant and composed, she benevolently shares her wisdom with all who seek it. That is, until the last person has left, at which point she becomes totally hopeless. Only Pastor Lawrence is keeping the saint put together enough to do her duties, and though she may test him, it's all in a day's work. The girl I like forgot her glasses. Kamura, a middle school boy, is deeply infatuated with his next seat neighbor, Mie. Unfortunately, Mie struggles with her eyesight and frequently forgets to bring her glasses or accidentally breaks them. Determined to assist her, Kamura steps up and offers his help whenever possible. Through his genuine efforts, Mie becomes acquainted with his kindness and begins to appreciate his presence. My Happy Marriage. Despite being born into a family with unusual powers in its bloodline, Mio had not inherited any special abilities. Moreover, she was treated like a lowly servant by her half-sister, who in an ironic twist of fate had awakened an ability of her own. Unloved by her parents and shunned by all, Mio was a forgotten daughter. Even her childhood friend, her one and only ally, chose to marry her half-sister in order to take over the estate. Seen as nothing more than a hindrance, Mio is married off to a man rumored to be cold and ruthless. Psalm 100, Bucket List of the Dead. After spending years slaving away for a soul-crushing company, Akira's life has lost its luster. He lives in a trash-filled apartment, his pay is abysmal, and he can't even muster up the nerve to confess his love to his beautiful co-worker. But when a zombie apocalypse ravages his town, it gives him the push he needs to live for himself. Now Akira's on a mission to complete all 100 items on his bucket list before he, well, kicks the bucket.